Beautiful hedge fund managers, today you will understand what you need to do in order to raise capital from the LBS, allocators, and the investors that you need actually to have communication with and you need to raise capital from. In order to scale up to beyond 1 billion in management, then you need to learn from those who has already achieved that. Because of that, I'm gonna share with you one of the questions that 310 million fund manager asked us a week before and what you need to learn from it and how you will actually get the insights of the key factors that you need to learn in order to make sure that you will have the best outcome of your own limited lifetime and in order to raise the capital targets that you are looking to raise and in order to raise capital to beyond 1 billion in management. So before the end of the video, you will learn how you will avoid the roadblocks, the mistakes that you are going through, and you will understand what you need to do right away in order to close investment commitments, in order to raise capital and have the best outcome of 2025 to achieve the 1 billion in management now or later on. So one of the questions last week was from 310 million fund manager. We have got intros to 3 allocators. Should we just tell our story and see who beats? Here is what I told him. So here is what I told him. You will get it. That's not fundraising. That's storytelling roulette, correct? You can't just beat on storytelling roulette. It will never work out like that, correct? It sounds like absolutely silly. It sounds like you are absolutely not a professional and you don't understand how the business model it works at all. You can't just beat on which one will actually be interested and from there we will just capture it. It doesn't work like that at all. Because of that, you will understand the next. Here is what actually happens when your LB conversations have no narrative control. So when you don't have any narrative control, here is what happens most of the time on the conversation, you and with the LBs. You lead with the found story, but it's not tied to what they care about, correct? So it's not tied to what they care about. So most of the time you lead with the found story, but it doesn't align with their own interests. It doesn't align with their own values and morals. Because of that, we also work with our partners to make sure that we will not only generate interest from our private list of investors, we are not only retaining the capital after we closing the capital, we are not only taking the calls with the LBS and with the investors and making sure to retain the capital after that and build their own personal brand on LinkedIn at the same time. But what we also do is we making sure to rebuild the intro deck, recreate the detailed document, and making sure that the intro deck it will align with the LB segment that we will have call with, and we understand and we are totally aware of their own interests and their own morals and values that they would like to take a look on and they would like to discuss during the call. So we don't spend our own time and the LBS time at the same time the hedge fund manager's time, because they are spending a lot of time of their own limited lifetime until they will have the solution, which is what we have already built in the house, scalable sales operation, to make sure that we will have instructors inside the funds to scale up the asset management externally to new all-time high constantly, massively, and aggressively. At the same time, they can only focus on the portfolio management and they can only focus on the providing the lowest drawdown report and the best performance, so we can build something that would be huge to beyond 1 billion in management. Let's get back to it, but it's not tied to what they care about, okay? So it's not tied to what they care about. That is not what their own interest. Now you are performing, not partnering, correct? You are performing but not partnering. You don't have any partnership. You are performing but you don't have any partnership, correct? And when you want to present the story, it has to sound like you have a partnership. You have like more like emotional connection with the consumer or with the one who is listening to your own story, or with the LBS or with the investor, correct? Why you want to have that? Because the emotional connection, that's what making the story to actually stay in their own mind and stay unforgettable, and it will absolutely make them to be interested if you understand how you will have it. They smile, then forget you, correct? It happens most of the time. They smile, they forget you, they say, all right, another new pie, and he just entered to the market, correct? You wing the structure of your calls. That's what you do. You wing the structure of your call. So you have no best to IC, no sense of next steps at the same time, and you don't understand what the next few steps would look like. So you have no urgency, no roadmap, and no capital. So that's exactly what is going on most of the time. So you have already started the call with what you have already planned for, which is the story of your own fund. When you have already presented the story, you see that they smile, they don't give you any attention. It's not like they had no emotional connection with the morals or with the values that you have already provided to the table. That absolutely will not make them to be interested. And not only that, but you wing the structure of your calls, so you have no path to IC, no sense of next steps, no urgency, and no roadmap and no capital. So that's exactly how it looks like. So you don't have any sales systems that will take them further from X to Y to Z. And why you will take them from X to Y to Z, it has already been right there. And that's how you need actually to craft that. That's what you need actually to craft. That's what we are also helping our partners with. We're making sure to help them to have the sales process step by step to make sure that they will overcome X and they will get Y, and then from Y to Z it will be easier for them because now we have already cracked X on Y, correct? So much more of that you will also find that in the description below. If you would like to take a look on that video, you will also gain something from it, I can promise you that. And you let the allocator ask all the questions. That's most of the time that's what's going on. They feel like they are doing the work, correct? It feels like you are introvert, you don't talk too much, and he's just asking the questions. It feels like, what's going on right here? I'm just talking with a trader, not talking with a hedge fund manager. A hedge fund manager, he needs actually to be extrovert, he needs actually to be extrovert, and he needs actually to be someone who speak clearly and with communication skills and with the clarity and with awareness level all the time. So why you would do that? Because if you would do that, then it will start to increase the certainty of the deal, of the call, and you will close more investment commitments, correct? That's why we are taking the calls most of the time for our partners. We're making sure to brought in the sales team that has already been in the financial industry for over 10 years in the sales, and especially in sales equity with the private banks. We're making sure to take the calls, and they will do the negotiation side after the calls. We have another team to make sure that they will retain the capital after that, so they will retain the capital for the long term. Because I have already seen many hedge fund managers that they closing deals, and like 2, 3, 6 months after that, you see them that at lower level in that management than what they have already been before. That is a big issue. Because of that, we have already built a program that is absolutely what all the hedge fund managers that are ambitious and looking actually to scale it big, that's exactly what they need to have. That's exactly what they need to actually establish in their own fund, in their own operation internally, to make sure that they can scale up externally to new all-time high in the management aggressively, massively, and constantly. So that's exactly how it's going on, correct? So that's exactly where the most of you losing. You look unprepared, momentum dies in the inbox. So you telling your own self, all right, I will get back to them in the inbox, and that's how I will close them. It's absolutely not going on, correct? You are not closing anyone from there. You leave the meeting with great conversation, no assets follow, no next call pockets, and no internal advocates build, correct? Well, elite managers do differently. What elite managers do differently, they script the path to yes. So as I told you, that's exactly what we do. We script the path to yes. We have a proven system scripted on if we say X, we get Y. If we don't say Y, we will get X. And if we say X and Y, we will make sure to get Z in the end. So that's basically what we have already built in the house. I will just go through it quickly because I don't have a lot of time. And they run LB calls with sharpness and clarity. As I told you right here, as I have already mentioned to you, clarity, awareness level, communication skill. You're talking with confidence, certainty, and you understand how the conviction can be built. They control narrative HT catcher without overselling. So they're making sure to also not hold the frame, but they will not lose the frame. Okay, that's the most of the time what they need actually to have. They will not hold the frame like so hard as many of you are doing. I don't know who have already taught you on how the sales work, but in instinctual sales, especially instinctual sales, or like investment commitment sales, you will never hold the frame hard. You will never hold the frame like, all right, I'm like above you and now you will just give me your own money. It will never work. It will never work, okay? Especially with the LBS investors, especially LBS and instinctual pension funds. All of these instinctuals, they have already been in the financial industry, they have already been in the marketplace for longer time than what you have already been. Then you just trying to enter the market with big sharks, with someone who has already been in the industry and have seen hundreds of thousands like you before, or hundreds of thousands of others who applied to work with them like you before, and you're trying to do the same mature skills in sales as the others they are doing, that's absolutely will never work out. Not only with them, but even with me. If you have a call with me and you're trying to hold the frame, I will directly jump off the call and I will block you after that. Why? You are jumping on my calls, you're trying to hold the frame against me. I will absolutely be blocklisted. That's it. I have already done that. Last week I have already done that. I had a call with someone who applied to work with us. I have already blocklisted them. Why? Because he trying to hold the frame on my calls, which trying to hold the frame so hard on my calls. Just saying that is absolutely dishonesty, and if you do that, you will absolutely be blocked. If you need to have help, you will absolutely be a genuine human, genuine business owner that you need actually to have help. And if you actually talk with respect and respectful way, you will absolutely gain the help. But if you're trying so hard to hold the frame just to gain the deal for your own side, so you will never get the deal. That's the most of the time, that's what's going on. So don't try to do that, okay? But don't lose the frame. At the same time, don't lose the frame, okay? But don't hold the frame. And right there in the middle, you need actually to have it. That's what we have already crafted in our operation. A real fundraising error is optimize it, not improvise it, okay? You lead them through a structured, emotional, and intellectual journey, from interest to belief to conviction to allocation. That's exactly what we have already built in the house. No allocator wants to figure out why they should fund you, okay? They want to be leader. The truth right here, if your LB conversations feel exciting but go nowhere, if that is the case here, you are not being evaluated, you are being entertained, correct? Entertained. And capital doesn't move for entertainment. It will never do, especially if you go to the instinctual. It will never, okay? It's not like that at all. Okay, entertainment, family and friends, stay right there, okay? It moves for process, systemic process, if I just want to add up one more word on that. That was everything for this video. If you would like to take a look on other videos, you will find them in the description below. More than that, stay safe. It was Zia Have a nice day.